Hey everybody, take million and a half, whatever. I'm having a lot of video issues. Between my phone, I'll be in the middle of talking, it'll start flashing, and then the video will stop. SD card full. Yeah. Try to use my iPod. Your video's too long. Seriously? I'm not technically proficient on editing on that. It's an old iPad, and we don't have the latest bells and whistles. So I'm back again using YouTube's filming to see if this will work some. Anyway, so there's that. Enough about my trials and tribulations. I wanted to, first of all, thank the people that checked in and watched my YouTube video from BugJam. It looks like about 300 you checked in. That is pretty kick-ass. I mean, there's other BugJam videos out there that are very professional looking and really smooth and slick and well produced. I mean, I love it. Good for you guys. I'm just kind of winging it here, just kind of learning as I go. But I thank you, and thanks to the lady in the Carmen Gia that saw her car in the video. That's pretty awesome. It is my absolute pleasure to videotape your car with you in it. That's pretty cool. Speaking of cool things like that, I went to the Coast Guard Air Station in Clearwater, Florida, and looked at some helicopters and C-130 Hercules. Those are the Coast Guard planes that, if you live in the St. Pete, Tampa Bay area, or further out, anywhere else where you have Coast Guard around, Coast Guard in the air especially, those are the planes you see. They're slow, and they have four props on them. They have a certain sound to them. To me, that's like music. That's music to me, like VW engines are music to me. I hear that plane, and no matter what I'm doing, I'm like, oh, there he is. He's saying hello. I love that plane. So I took a lot of pictures of him. I shot a little video of the Coast Guard helicopter landing. I didn't want to post it because the Coast Guard, it is considered military, and I don't know if they think too kindly of my uploading that to YouTube. So it's just for my own personal thing, but I'm sure there's other videos out there of people putting the helicopters up. It's pretty cool. They're pretty badass. That's a loud helicopter, and another loud helicopter is the air ambulance service around here known as Bayflight. When Bayflight's flying over, there's some serious shit going down somewhere. Car accident or some crazy bad thing. Bayflight is used for like the trauma patients that are in like horrendous motorcycle accidents or really bad car crashes where they have to be pulled out of their car and airlifted somewhere. That's Bayflight. So there's that. And then the cops have a copter. As I like to say, they put the cop at copter. There's actually a Pinellas County Sheriff has a small installation at St. Pete Clearwater Airport as well. And they've got a police plane and a police helicopter. Anyway, so that's that. That's my big thrill. And best of all, going to that Coast Guard thing, I went with one of my photography clubs I'm involved with. It didn't cost me a penny. I love it. The things I find that are free or low cost, sometimes, BugJam was $10 to get in. I was like, awesome. Anyway, that's me. Talking about cars or planes or what have you, that's me in my best, and writing. And I'm here to tell you about For the Love of Dogs. Finally, after 4 years of planning, the Kindle is up. Paperback soon to follow. When I'm done, flapping my lips and waving my hands at you, I will put put my social media on this video, and I'll also put the links for you to get those videos. Anyway, so For the Love of Dogs is 3 short stories. The book tops out at 54 pages. I do not have a playlist with this one. I did not listen to music to write this one. For the Love of Dogs was an idea I had back in 2015 when I started the Fat Cat series, which is 3 separate books about a family in the 70s in Connecticut who have cats and their lives with the cats. And it was kind of semi-autobiographical. It was about me and my family a bit and some of the things that we went through. Most of the events are true. Some were embellished to whatever. Anyway, so those were told from kind of a simple, childlike aspect. I wanted to do For the Love of Dogs like that, but as time went on, I'm like, I'm writing about adults though, and I wanted to talk in a more mature fashion for more mature audiences. I'm not a short story person. I mean, look at my books, Dare to Be, 400 something pages. I tend to get really wrapped up in the story and just keep going and going. But since the Fat Cat series were so short, I decided this time, For the Love of Dogs, instead of making three separate books, I was going to combine three short stories within one book. So that's that. And all these stories are based on people that I know, people that are friends, that are family, whatever. I was brought up with dogs. I don't have a dog. I don't have any pets at the present time, but I've been around dogs, and I, especially probably within the past year or so, have noticed more readily than ever before that certain people in my life, it which these stories are actually based on pretty much, and people like them. For some, there's a couple types of people in the world. There's people that are like, it's just a dog. We're going to tie him up all day, and we're going to leave for work, and he'll be tied up in his doghouse all day, and we might feed him, but he's an outdoor dog. Or this is my guard dog, or this is the dog I'm illegally buying to, dog fights. And, we all know about those stories. People that look at an animal, it's just a dumb animal. It's an animal. They can't love. They're not human. They don't have all the human logic and they don't have the human brain. They've got the tiny doggy brain. It's just a cat, whatever, let him out. He'll fend for himself. After all, he's just a cat. Those are those people. And, that's your deal, whatever. That's you. And then there's the others. There's other people who, the thing about animals, and dogs and cats more especially, but I'm thinking horses, birds, whatever. Yes, granted, yes, those dogs need you to keep them fed, keep them well, give them a roof over their head. As in a bird's case, keep them in a cage. In a fish's case, keep their water clean and free of bacteria. Cats, keep that litter box full, feed them. Yes, I understand animals rely on humans for the basic needs, or they'd be out in the wild trying to fend for themselves. I mean, there's a lot of feral cats around here still. I don't see too many loose dogs anymore. Not around here. Occasionally, and it's usually because the dog will escape. The owner has the door open, the dog runs out. That's a different thing. And then there's even a different level, because spending time around people who life has kind of like shut the door on them in some way, or they face an incredible disappointment, their bond with their dog grows stronger. And that's what I'm trying to highlight in this book. The first story concerns a woman named Cinda Hawley. She's in her late 40s. She doesn't have any kids. She's an only child, and her parents had passed away within the past decade or so. She's extremely close to her parents, her father especially. Her parents are named Herman and Eloise. She's got a bird named Ralph, and this is based on a friend she was a co-worker of mine that I had, that we became friends, and she's since moved out of Florida. We keep in touch through Facebook and all this, and we chat every now and then. In real life, this woman had gotten a dog with her then husband, and she hadn't been around dogs, and she just fell in love with dogs to the point where it changed her life. She's now a registered pet sitter. I mean, her life changed because of it. Well, that's kind of what happens to the woman in the first part of For the Love of Dogs. That's what Cinda does. She's newly divorced, and she's living with her bird in this little cottage that she just bought down by the beach, and she gets a dog that she names Thor. And Thor changes her life for the better, and it gives her a new career, and it gives her a new outlook. And I'll tell you, I was bawling the whole time. bawling the whole time I'm writing this, bawling the whole time I'm editing it and reading it over yesterday. I mean, these stories are going to pull at your heartstrings. I mean, if you're an animal lover, or if your life has been transformed by the unconditional love of an animal, you'll get it. You'll totally get it. Just as an aside, I've known people in my life, my personal circle, who a spouse will die, and they feel very, their life up to the point of their spouse passing away has been trying to be a caregiver for that spouse and trying to keep that spouse well and give him, take him to his doctor's appointments, make sure he takes his meds and all that. And when that dog leaves, or when that person dies and their children are away and have their own lives, they feel very off balance, So this individual, the dog was actually in the household when that person passed away, and the dog changed this woman's life. And if I write another book, I'm probably going to put her story in. She just didn't fit into this one this time, but so I can see how dogs will change people's lives for the better. It is incredible. Story number 2 is influenced and based on a neighbor that I had when I was living in Gulfport. I lived next door to a lady who was in her early 50s, who was a special needs. She's a teacher for a school for special needs children, and her students, I think, were like 5 years old, like kindergarten age, if I'm remembering it correctly. I'm sure if I hear from her with the release of this book, I'm sure I will hear from her, because her name's in the thank you and the credits. But anyway, so her story, her name's Mavis Edwards in the story, and she has a very small classroom of a few different kids, because, it's special needs, so they need more individual attention than a child would in a regular school. There's a little boy in there who's kind of like gotten in her heart, and he doesn't speak, and they're halfway through the school year at that point, and he's never spoken, never cried, never made a sound. And he's one of those types of kids where when you're talking to him, he's not like meeting your eyes, but she notices that he'll be in the classroom and silently watching from the sidelines what everyone else is doing. So she wants to feel like she can connect with him. When she gets her little dog, that changes her life and changes his as well. You're just going to have to read to find out. I'm giving enough spoilers. The third one is actually about a man whose name is Jake Simpson. Jake's world is just kind of turned around in the worst way. He's divorced. He's going through a divorce. His wife is not all she appeared to be, and he lost his job at the same time. So the double-edged sword, and is finding it hard to move forward and find things to hang on to and believe in. And he gets a puppy while he's still married to his wife, and the relationship with his dog is like a thing. I mean, there's a line in his chapter where it says, he's talking to his sister, whose name is Kate, and he says, Dexter, that's his dog's name. Dexter is the reason I get up in the morning sometimes. He said, I am Dexter's world. And that's it. Like what I was alluding to at the beginning of this video, we are our animal's world pretty much. And that's it. I mean, and the person that Jake and Dexter are based on, that kind of catapulted me to making this book a reality, because I'm witnessing this firsthand, this relationship between a man and a dog. I mean, that is incredible. And I think I'm starting to get choked up. Having that connection with that animal, I think has opened that man's heart just a little bit more. This is when I was writing this is the way it was. I'm getting choked up because in my mind, I could see it all play out so well. This story it's going to make you laugh at times. It's going to make you cry. And if you've ever had your life intersect with an animal on any level, you know, in some cases, like in Mavis's case, her little dog Sparky, short for Spark Plug, that's like her kid. Cinda's dog Thor, that's like her kid. Jake's dog Dexter, that's like his kid. And people say, you know, I hear sometimes from people that become parents, it's like, well, you'll never find another love like, you know, when you have a child or whatever. And I'm sure that's true for some people. Here's the thing about animals, pets in particular, they do not care if you're rich, if you're poor, if you're having a bad day, if you have a zit right here that makes you look like Cyclops, if you're fat, what your house looks like, what kind of car. They don't judge. They don't have the human brain where people judge. They love you, and when you need it, when you are feeling really down, I think too, and this, let me just branch off for a second. This is why therapy dogs, I'm sure therapy cats could be a thing. I know that nursing homes will bring in cats, and cats are, I love cats. Therapy dogs, though, and you know, people laugh, oh yeah, emotional support animal, haha. But you know what? Sometimes when humans don't, they feel like the whole world has closed its door and turned its back on them, their animal is right there giving them love, and, you know, giving them their paw. Jake's dog Dexter is a big one for giving paws. So anyway, even though these were based on real people, I'm not using real names because some of what happens in each chapter, Cinda, it's divided into Cinda, Mavis, and Jake. Some of the things that happened in each chapter are real events. A lot of it is my own brain and my fantasy of how things could be for these people, and I kind of embellished it with my imagination. Every person gets a happy ending in here, and life is hard, I know, but I'm a big believer in everyone getting their wishes fulfilled and being transformed by their journey and their process. I'm a huge person. I'm huge into that stuff. And the right circumstances, I'm just, 10 years ago, not even 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago, I used to be the most negative person. I didn't like me then, and I had people bring it to my attention how negative I was. And I have my days where I can be very negative, and that's when I pull back and kind of keep to myself. I'm not like that anymore. I'm a lot different. I'm better. I'm much better, and I think it's because of the company I'm keeping. Anyway, so that's enough about me. For the Love of Dogs is live on Kindle right now. The paperback's going to be available probably within the next couple hours or so. The turnaround is pretty quick, and this book is a lot thinner than the other ones, so I think the turnaround is going to be a little quicker. The Kindle is $3.99. I'm letting the book go for $7. It's going to be thin. It's a little tiny thing. So there's that. I will put the links to get these on this video page. And if you want to find me on social media, of course, YouTube, yeah, good place. I consider that social media, visual social media. Facebook is K.A. Salter, Salter, books. You can find me there. You're welcome. Come on in. Sit down. I post things like this. I put my links to these videos in there. I do Facebook Live on occasion. Let's see what else. I'll talk about what I'm working on. I'll post memes about libraries and reading and music and all pets. And if you're on that page and you've seen a lot of pet stuff in there lately and dog stuff, it's kind of tied in with For the Love of Dogs. So there's that. Anyway, so you can find me on Twitter if you're a Twitter user. At the @ Mustang Kim 11. Mustang like the car. You're not wrong. And I'll put links in there. Heidi ho to all my Twitter friends there. Hi to everyone from Facebook group K.A. Salter Books. I have a WordPress page. I'm very lax at keeping that up. I probably need to get back in there and start plugging For the Love of Dogs and, talking about the stuff that not everyone's going to watch this video, so I need to kind of like pour it out in there. So we'll do that. And I'm forgetting one. Instagram, lowercase k.a.salter, tiny underscore line, and the at sign in front of it, kind of like Twitter. And I'm on Instagram. I'm usually just talking about books or planes or VWs or whatever the hell. That's my art page. I don't get that personal on there. It's kind of like, oh, here's a plane I saw, or check out this VW, or look at this thing. So there's that. Anyway, I can't really think of anything else. Anyway, guys, it's been a pleasure. I hope this damn thing uploads, because my voice is shot. I made a cup of coffee. It's cold. It'd be iced coffee at this point. Anyway, and so it has been grand talking to you. I hope this thing uploads properly. I'm using the YouTube function this time. So I will see you maybe next weekend. I don't know, it's a holiday weekend. It really depends on how everything plays out. I'm going to give the public a warning. I'm actually leaving the house on Black Friday. I never do that. I'm an anti-Black Friday person. I'm more like a Cyber Monday. But this year, money's a little tight, so I'm just going out for the experience, and because the company is going to be A+. So I'm looking forward to that. So anyway, don't eat too much turkey. Try not to, or you're going to be like... So... it's been a pleasure. I really hope that this thing uploads properly. Fingers crossed. Anyway, yeah, I'm a little jazzed. I get in this mood every time I put a book out. I'm like, all giddy and everything. This is me in my element. So, For the Love of Dogs, Kindle and normal paperback. I will put the links in here. If you like what you see, drop a note. If you have any questions, comments, drop a note. Anyway, it has been a pleasure. You guys take care. Have a great week. It's a short work week for me. And anyway, been a pleasure. Have a good one. Peace out. Bye-bye.